Hello, Sarah here with you, and welcome to another session of news and discussion. This week, I have a lot of news. This week had 3 times more news than the normal rate. So I wonder how long this video will end up to be, but today let's start with our main story, Final Fantasy VII Remake. As Crunchyroll was interviewing the producer of Final Fantasy XIII-2, he said that he wouldn't mind making the Final Fantasy VII into a newer version, but he said that he will be also tempted to add some new elements that might change the direction of the story, and that might upset some of the fans. We are talking here changes of the story. The producer of Final Fantasy XIII-2 said that if he did what was in Final Fantasy VII, the original one, into a better version, it would be just a repeat. And of course, fans have built up their own conclusion of the story based off the original Final Fantasy story. And he doesn't want to upset, I guess, the versions of stories that fans have for continuation to the Final Fantasy VII story. So I guess that the conclusion of this interview was that they're not minding doing the remake, but they're afraid that they're gonna upset the fans if they change some elements of the story. Well, we will have to wait and see what's going to happen in the next couple of years. Maybe they will have another change of heart and said, alright, we'll remake the whole game into the way it was in 1997, who knows. On some other Final Fantasy related news, Final Fantasy XIII-2 is having Assassin's Creed as a downloadable content costume. Haven't said which character, or maybe it will be available to all characters, but it's definitely an interesting addition to the game. And in some Final Fantasy XIII-2 related news, a video has been released showing the enhanced battle system of Final Fantasy XIII-2, or I would rather call it the upgraded battle system, because it has the same features of Final Fantasy XIII system, but with some extra stuff. Most noticeably is the cinematic actions, and I don't know if you missed a certain action, would that lead to defeat in a battle, or would it lead to a certain amount of damage? At this point it hasn't been cleared yet, but the game is coming late January in USA, early February in Europe. I still have more Final Fantasy news, but this time it's Final Fantasy Type 0. The team is working on an international version, and the game is huge. It's about 2 discs, and every disc is about a double layer, so the game is close to 3.5 gigs. It's on the PSP, and by the way, they were asked why it was named Type 0 and it wasn't given a certain name like Final Fantasy something 13, since it belongs to the 13 series. They said that this is just the start, and there could be a continuation to the story in future, I guess, games. And they said that they are maybe preparing a game to be released on the next portable generation console, which makes sense. It will be the Vita. But for now, Final Fantasy fans, rest assured, Final Fantasy Type 0 is heading in our way, but we still don't know when its release date will be. And I have another Final Fantasy news. This time it is Final Fantasy Brigade mobile social game. It's a game that's made by Square Enix that lets players from their cell phones make teams together and explore the world of Final Fantasy while doing quests to earn experience points. There is a story in this game, surprisingly. It follows 2 crystals that were shattered after they were attacked, and I believe that the players will need to gather the shattered parts of the crystal to be able to restore its power back, or something along the line. I don't know. But the players will be able to face off monsters and be able to switch between classic jobs that we used to see in the old Final Fantasy games. It is, you can think of it as the old JRPG style Final Fantasy. I guess Final Fantasy I maybe, because it does have a lot of similarities in the story. The 4 heroes, you get to choose 4 heroes and you get to customize your team and set up a journey to save the world's crystal, so it's very much similar. I wonder if this is the remake of Final Fantasy I on a mobile, but I guess people would have to work together. You know, instead of 1 player, you have 4 players, and every player follows on this journey with his team to be able to save the world of Final Fantasy. Who knows? It's an interesting addition to the long list of Final Fantasy games. But this game is only in Japan at this point. Who knows, maybe it will be one of these games that will come to the social media later on, because it definitely looks like one of those social media games. That'll be a lot of fun if it really does come to Facebook or Google Plus or something like that. Okay, let's go on ahead to some Resident Evil news. There has been rumors that there could be a Resident Evil 6 and it could be set up in China. You know, a rumor came a couple of months ago that there will be another Resident Evil game, but then it was denied by Capcom, and now there are more rumors that there is a Resident Evil 6. Who knows? Is this the reboot version of Resident Evil 6 or another game into the series? I don't know. I have another Resident Evil news. The live-action web series of Resident Evil makes its debut on YouTube. And episode 1, its release is about 6 minutes long. The story starts, I guess, with a Resident Evil 2 start, but it does have a Resident 4 Evil feeling to it. In other words, it's Leon's first day of job, and he was sent to a ranch to investigate some sort of attack, and that part has that Resident Evil 4 feeling. It is on Machinima YouTube channel, and I have to say, it looks pretty interesting. I have some interesting news relating to Taichi Kubo, the Bleach author, and Gorillaz. After Gorillaz have been members for 10 years, so that's a whole decade, Taichi Kubo decided to do them a little artwork, and that artwork is in front of you right now to congratulate them on completing 10 years. One of clan members decided to take a break due to health issues. Apparently one of the members have been working too much on their project that it caused some, I guess, some back issues. So in order to get her health back and get back into full shape, she decided to take a break from the work. I think about 6 months or so. This is seriously gonna pose some problems for Clamp, since they're working on 2 mangas, The Gate 7 and their second Legal Dark series, Drag and Drop. Well, I wish the best for the Clam member, and I believe that fans are going to support Clam until the artist gets back on her feet and start working again on their project. And a more Clam related news, Blood-Sea movie trailer has been released, which is The Last Dark. It's about 30 seconds long and it was released this week. The movie is coming June 2nd, 2012. A new Idol Master game is coming, but this time it's coming into the social media. The game, which is like all of the Idol Master games, will ask you to take on the part of the producer, and you have idols. It's your job to promote your idols and make them famous. It's like the same idea of the anime, but the social game will have more characters. I believe close to 100 characters, which might sound nuts. But this is what it was mentioned in the article. It will have some of the familiar characters like Haruka Ami and also Chihaya Kisaragi and Miki Hoshi, and a bunch of new other characters also. The pricing on the PlayStation Vita memory card has been released, and I gotta say it's pretty expensive. A normal 4GB will cost you about $30, the 8GB is about $45, the 16GB about $70, and the 32GB about $120. This is half the price of the Vita, considering it's about $250 or so. So this is pretty expensive. I wonder how fans will react to this. Japan topped Googled animes in 2011. And the list goes like this. Number 10, Hunter x Hunter. 9, One Piece. 8, Ant-Man. I never heard about this before. 7, Toriko. 6, Freezing. 5, Sweet Precure. 4, Steins Gate. 3, Usagi Drop. 2, Gundam Age. 1, Madoka Magica. No surprise over there. Well, maybe 1. I haven't seen Tiger and Bunny in the middle. Moving on to some Madoka Magica news. Movie 3 of Madoka Magica trilogy movies screenplay has been completed. So that's a big milestone. It's done, and now we're moving ahead to the animation part, which is the hardest part and the toughest part in the whole process. But let's wish the animation team good luck. With more Madoka Magica related news, 4 new characters were released based off the Madoka Magica iPhone game. Nothing were mentioned about them like powers or anything, only just one character, and her name is Eliza. Rock Lee gag manga spin-off is getting an anime, and it's kind of ridiculous news. This is the first time I've ever heard that Rock Lee has his own gag manga, which apparently came in a monthly issue. Now it's going to have its anime, though I'm wondering if this is gonna be something like an OVA maybe, or maybe part of the Naruto series, maybe, who knows. I doubt it will be like a full series. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting. After all this amount of crazy news, I still have some more, but these are short anime news. Dream Eater Mary is getting a dub version. The 9th installment of the Polycure series, which is called Smile Polycure, is going to premiere in February. Japan launches an online manga magazine. 30 people have been arrested for uploading anime in 3 days. That's a lot. Square Enix Army Corps of Hell is coming to North America in February. I believe it's on the PSP. Dragon Quest producer is working on a new original action RPG. So that wraps around that crazy amount of news for this week. Next segment is Anime Wonders. Luckily, there's not as much as anime news for this week. that's it for this week of anime news. That was surely a long session, but I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in another video. So take care and stay safe. Bye.